motorsports fans, sim racers. Welcome to Flux Motorsport 2021 Season 1. This is Race 3 of the inaugural Stockcar Championship. We've just turned the drivers have just hit the track at Texas Motor Speedway as they're going out here for qualifying. So this is the second oval in the series, the Texas Motor Speedway. Here we are in Fort Worth, Texas. Texas Motor Speedway, mile and a half. Quad oval as it is. Some might even refer to it as the cookie cutter track. NASCAR years ago decided to do a lot of these mile and a half tracks in an effort to try to have a more consistent series. And what they found is tracks like Charlotte and Atlanta and Texas, all the ISC tracks. They found that the racing at some point was not what they hoped for. So in NASCAR's wisdom, they elected to make changes. And in Texas, now instead of having the banking on turns 1, 2, 3, and 4 being the same, turns 1 and 2 have less banking. Turns 3 and 4 have more banking. Been to this racetrack a number of times, and this is certainly a challenge. As we see here, there is O'Brien kind of giving us a preview of exactly what happens at this racetrack. Joining me in the booth is Muttley. Muttley, how are you, sir? How's your day?
Pretty good.
Excellent, excellent. By the way, my name is One Shoe. Certainly appreciate you being here with us today. Now, as you're watching the broadcast, and if you want to be part of the action that you're seeing here, then come join the Flux community. Go to www.fluxmotorsport.com, sign up, join us on the Discord, get your evaluation drive, pick a championship series. We have 7 series contended. And you too can be featured on Flux TV. While you're on the Flux Discord, participate in the community race, get set up, support, donate if you please. Browse the marketplace for Flux swag, because winning is pointless if you don't look good while doing it. Discounts and offers available from Fanatec, Acelith through our affiliate links. Join us here at Flux Motorsport, the home of clean sim racing and eMotorsports. Now I've said all that, I'll let Muttley get a word in here edgewise.
Wasn't it really? But I mean, they've proven that they, the money where the mouse is, got Fanatec with a discount, which is pretty good for sim racing.
Yes.
Type in the code and you get a discount. I don't know how much it is, but we've got to have a look at it eventually. So
one of these days when I grow up, I'll buy a direct drive wheel. Maybe Santa Claus will bring me one for Christmas.
Tell you what, you end up being Popeye the Sailor Man after you've been running a few races with it, right?
As we look at what's happening with qualifying, no surprise who we're seeing at the top. Yeah, Dale the Whale, Cat Guy, and O'Brien.
O'Brien, yeah.
Yep, those 3 guys. It's very likely that at the very least, I'm sure Cat Guy's really good about sharing setups, and I would bet at least a couple cars are.
He's going to give Daz his setup, so. And I mean, Daz only just turned up, so.
Yeah, boy, Daz, we haven't seen him. We haven't had opportunity to race with Daz in quite a while. So good to see him back in the fold. Oh my goodness, there was Old Smokey. Old Smokey just barely got out of the way before he got center punched there coming off a 2.
I don't know about you, but I would have been going, oh, this is going to hurt.
Yeah. So we got O'Brien in the number 66 casino car.
Yeah. What do you think of the car you were cruising around in before of mine? It was a bit loose though, I found.
Well, what I like to do too is just to kind of get my muscle memory working. Is
Yeah.
I'll go take one of the default setups just to turn some laps to kind of remember. Here's where you turn in at. Here's if you're going to do a little trail braking, if you're how much throttle to modulate. And then you were very kind to loan me a tune, and that tune was immediately 4/10 faster right off of the bat. About 5 laps in, the car really took a good set, and I was getting very consistent with it. And you know, this track is a challenge.
You can set up for one very early with that car. You can get it turned in, and then it take the bump, and then keep turning the corner. It's probably one of Cat Guy's setups from Indy somewhere along the line. I just played around with the tyre pressures and just let it loose.
Hey, let's take a look. Let's get up here with Dale the Whale, and let's just go take a look at his. Let's go see how he's kind of getting around here. Because if he's running a 28.6, I want to see what I can steal from him. Came in low on 1, let the car go ahead and drift up to 2, and then high up down the backstretch. So, carrying a lot of speed.
I got almost trying to get the front wheel, front left, touching the cement.
I remember in our old no tuning days when we ran default setups, that was how you got this car to turn through one. Is you laid that left front down below the white line on the apron to get the car to make that turn. Cat Guy only a 10th off the pace.
Last night, with him running away with a really, really fast time, he's not that much faster. And Cat, Carlin, O'Brien's not much in it. What's it? 0.199, 0.319, 0.379. I mean, if I'm those guys, I'm happy.
Yeah. You know, you got the top
Jiggly,
4 cars within 3/10.
K5 and Harry and that. You got to do work.
There we go.
You know, I mean, you got to have hopefully a reasonable car in traffic.
Speaking of traffic, did you get a chance to watch the GT3s at Sakito earlier today on Flux TV? Well,
No.
the console and McToasty were broadcasting. Great race. I always call that track by the wrong name. I kind of remembered as Suzuka. And blank file. He was a max points day. He was on the pole, got fastest lap. Bruce Law was in second, and Jack Dominguez was in third, and there was some really great battles on there. By the way, if you like what you see in here, if you could please do us a favor, subscribe to the Flux Motorsport channel. Go ahead and hit the like there. Yes, please do that.
Definitely.
The more of those shows that we get, the more of those likes that we get, the more exposure that we can get to our Flux Motorsport.
And at the moment, you know, with this Flux and us joining Flux as an American tour, they're building on doing more different avenues of racing as well. So I think that we're on ovals and racing that. We do tracks as well, and then they'll also maybe be thinking about doing dirt.
Ooh, yeah.
Rally, so yeah.
Hey, let's go take a look at our buddy Daz. Let's see how he's getting along. Oh, he's in the pits.
He's in the pits.
Let's look at let's take a look at Toasty then. Let's see, Toasty's out there, and he's a little off. Looks like he's number 9 on the pylon as of right now.
That's Thrasher.
Oh,
Toasty.
Thrasher, and he just I had a flashback there for a moment. The number 50, that was my car, and that was not unusual to see me doing that between 1 and 2 with that car. It's a good thing the boss isn't here. It's a good thing Twindy isn't here to see that, because he'd be mad about that right now.
Yeah, I was running with him earlier today. He's probably running about what he's running now.
Mm-hmm.
Car definitely got upset when I got underneath him. Yeah, took a bit of air off him, and then he just washed out through time one. And yeah, it's a bit. I think he's got maybe too much downforce at the front. He's got to run it anything more than one.
Did that look like Lecky that was up there rubbing against the wall too?
Yeah, Lecky's.
Boy, boy, coming through that quad oval. Ooh.
Yeah, it was. Oh, but I did. With the runs with the tune I gave you, that's. Problem is, alright doing this while you're qualifying, but you do this in a race and people are trying to, get a room that somebody behind you doesn't hear the space, that if they've seen the car, setting the tyres alight, then we'll end up crashing into each other.
We were having a great conversation in the practice room, particularly our buddy Carlin Hicks in the number 4 Cash Now car. Was talking about trying to explain the difference between tight and loose and oversteer and understeer, right? If the car is tight, you see the wreck. If the car is loose, you don't see the wreck, because if it's tight, you hit it with the front end of the car. If it's loose, you hit it with the back end of the car.
Yeah. And, I mean, he's running the lap time. He's running roughly. Practice we had up earlier today, so car gliding what he wants it to do, but it's catching a wall out of 4.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder there if he was experimenting with maybe doing a little race setup, since he's already put up a great time. He's showing third on the pylon right now. So we got.
Well, I mean, the guys asked him earlier today, was that on full tanks? And he just went, yep, full tanks. I mean, it's not nothing unusual for Carlin to be running full tanks, race spec testing, and just do a good lap time as well.
Well, here we are. This is race 3 of the 8 in the season, and at the top of the leaderboard at this point now, especially where points are concerned, is Cat Guy. It's like he knew exactly who we were talking about there. Between Cat Guy, O'Brien, Harry, and McToasty, in the first 2 races, these guys have definitely dominated what we've actually seen here. Go over here to the Discord, just take a quick look at the standings to make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, we got Cat Guy at the top. O'Brien very close behind, only 6 points behind. Cyan Crewmate, or as we know him, as Jiggly Jello, third on the list. Carlin in 4th. Carboy in 5th, or my name is Jeff, depending on what day of the week you talk to him. Then we got Green Gaming, Harry, McToasty, Dale the Whale, currently 9th in points, but it's with as dominant as he's shown early in races. If he can translate that to finishes, we'll see him move up into points most definitely. Well, CMC, Old Smoky, THC Thrasher, Daz, Reskin, Lecky, and Glenn. And that rounds out our top 16 in points.
KE5. But yeah, with my name Jeff, not being able to turn up tonight, there's a lot of points to be made further up for some of these boys, so they might as well take advantage of it and make sure they run it out, not like I did last time, and run it into the pit lane full speed and went, oh, that's right, we're going to have pit limiter on. Do
it. It could be worse. It could be worse. I got to go to the pits 3 times to buy front wings for my Indy car, and I'm surprised they keep letting me come back and drive that car every week. And
Yeah,
what
so
I'm hoping for tonight is we're going to see some closer racing. We're going to see less individuals
or
having to spend time in the
I'm
pits fixing their cars.
yeah, um, if, if the front lot get a decent start and miss anything coming through the pack a bit wild and willy, then they'll just take off. But if they the what do we got? Jiggly and CMC get up into that front group and not hang on to their cars, it could be interesting.
Right, right, and and too, it's we can always tell these we've kind of documented that these stock cars on their best day are certainly a handful. Here we see Cat Guy parked in the pits. He's probably not going to do any better than that. We got 3 minutes left. There's CMC. See, there's Harry up there knocking some paint off of the right side.
Oh, got a minute.
Carlin Hicks back out on the track.
Probably seen what his car runs like in traffic.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
with 3 to go, you're not going to make your car any better than what it is, really. But it's a good time to test your racing setup out and get into behind some guys and just sit there and let them run their qualifying laps, but then also be able to play with their draft and non-draft and such.
Right. Yeah. Clean air is at a premium at this track to keep the cars kind of on a delicate unbalance to begin with. And you get a car in front of you, takes the air off of the nose. And now, let's see. So there's tight, there's loose, and then there's looking over your right shoulder as you're pancaking the right side of the car.
Yeah. And I must admit, when I started driving these things, I thought, nah, you just can't get the hang of it. What do we mean when we're driving this thing on a slider all the time? It's like a drift car.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to. You've got to get the thing sliding, otherwise you don't get the turn, the grip out of it either.
With a minute and a half left here in qualifying, I'm also curious to see. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Dale's in the pit, Cullen's out there, running in traffic, testing his car, seeing, I don't think anything like that. Maybe. Might get a push in, because Cullen's behind him. But
Right, get a little air bubble help in the Mondino.
coming up on somebody on the going through the grass.
Yeah, and just like that, Carlin he went out there and got a little more information, seeing what the car would do that close
He's got
behind.
all the information he needs now. He knows what his car is like. He had the car down on the inside through the grass there, and then he had CMC right in front of him. So he definitely knows what his car's going to be like. CMC seemed to probably maybe overdrive it and drive it a little bit into the wall at that point in time. So definitely, I'm calling it Dale, Cat, Carlin, O'Brien.
Yeah, that's kind of our other challenge too here, as we're working our way through here, so we can start to remember third race of the season, starting to be able to identify who is in what livery, and here we go. We've now got our top qualifiers. No surprise, Dale the Whale here at the very top of the board. 28,480 in the number 3 Elgastron suspension system. OGR Cat Guy leading the points right now, and the number 74 Curtis Motor Racing. Carlin Hicks and number 4 Cash Now Ford. Now that was kind of redundant. They're all Fords. So you don't need to say they're Fords, right? O'Brien
No.
in the number 66 Casino.
Mm-hmm.
CMC in number, oh, he's changed cars. He's went from the number 33 Rexnar Outdoor Store. That's why I didn't recognize CMC. Jiggly Jello in the number 10 Garten. Lecky 2000 in the number 12 Basomi Motorsports vehicle.
It's 51.
Daz in the number 29 Wester Radiators.
Yep.
Glenn, or KE5EP, is in the number, what is he in? Is he in the number 1 car?
Yep.
The Shellstone Systems car. THC Thrasher in the number 50 Zippenol car. Can we scroll down here so we can see the, or I guess you can, because I can't.
I can't.
Oh, never mind. Green Gaming, Harry, Old Smoky, and there's our 13 drivers for tonight's Texas Motorsport Speedway race. We're going to move these guys into the 2-minute room, give them that opportunity now to do any final setups, get their pit stops corrected, and more importantly, that opportunity to get their thought together before we turn them loose here.
So how many laps you reckon? Is it like IndyCars last night, 103 or so?
In some of the practicing, they're guessing that there's going to be a minimum of 90. You know, we had 100 in the IndyCars last night. These cars are about 4 seconds a lap slower, especially on the fast guys. We're going to have to see where they balance out. I wished I had a clue as to what's going to be more valuable here, tires or fuel.
Well, I'm saying because the first stop you go in, I say you're going for tyres and fuel, so do half distance. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Would you maybe try
90,
to?
Yeah, and then if you needed to, you come in for a splash. No tyres, just fuel. So have that set up ready to go.
Yeah, I'd be afraid to try to stretch the tires too much here. Knowing that as the balance starts to go off, as the car starts to burn off fuel.
Well, we'll look at the IndyCars. That was 2 laps last night, just on damage and putting fuel and tyres on the car. Let alone these things with a bit of damage and tyres and fuel and all the rest of it. So they'll be longer again. So it could be a lap, could be 2 on in these cars. Yeah, easy.
And 2, how many people will take that chance and maybe turn a portion of their damage off?
Well,
in an effort to try to save some
earlier, have a setup in there that doesn't have damage to fix up, because if you can get through clean and not have damage, which is fairly unlikely in these cars, yeah, I mean you could have it as a pit strategy that you set up as they get rolling. Here we go at Texas Speedway. And we're racing.
Liddy looking very cautious going into 1. And was that Lecky that
Lecky.
just went up?
Yeah.
Hard slam into the wall.
Did he catch the wall?
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, it looked like he had a car that just didn't want to turn. You know what these things are like on full fuel, and you haven't really done too much running and practice with these guys. Dale sort of skipped out a bit and away from this lot. We've got O'Brien.
And we got somebody turned around up there between 1 and 2.
Catch that. O'Brien's gonna. I thought he was gonna lose it.
Looking like that was KE5. Looked like that was Glenn.
Yeah.
guys coming back in between turn 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Cat guy having to put some wheel in her to get around the corner.
Yeah, I think he said he's going on a pretty quick setup, a bit edgy, but maybe it'll come to him later on in the race as the tyres get further in.
Yeah, these cars take at least 2 laps to get enough heat in the tires. And 2 now, it's trying to remember. That was, well, that looked like that was O'Brien.
Yeah, that's Glenn.
That's Glenn.
Past, yeah, getting past already.
Rim riding.
Oh, that's big.
Now there's some serious damage. Lecky's already in the pits. Looks like he's in for damage and tires already.
Yeah.
I expect that we'll see Glenn get in there too.
Left. That's an engine part there, ladies and gents.
Transmission failure. This is a humbling track. This track with these cars, the huge difference in the banking between the 2 ends of the track, and just when you think that it's okay and you can relax for a moment, you come off of turn 4 and there's a transition in the tri-oval, and there is some banking in that tri-oval that also, if you miss that, it makes the car upset. Dale the Whales out to 4.5 second lead.
Yeah, he is gone. He's out of there.
Sailing. He's running 28 nines.
Yeah, he's running pretty good laps. Then we go back to where the action is.
Yeah, and
they're stuck together.
And these 3 guys right here. You know, if I had to pick, lost the nose.
Damage on that one.
He was a little bit behind Carlin there. Probably lost the air off his nose. Car went right straight to the wall. This racetrack is relatively close to Carlin Hicks's hometown, and on those instances where I've actually been to this racetrack, I've been able to, try my best to meet with Carlin. And the last time I was at this racetrack, it rained for 4 days straight. So as much as I love to go to Texas as one of those tracks, probably won't go back again because I think I bring the rain with me every time I go there. Speaking of that, let's oh, there we go. We got somebody else turned around.
Lucky.
Again, looked like he was between 1 and 2. So he just came in, had the damage fixed.
Yeah. Going back in now.
Back to the pits.
Yes.
Well, we got an opportunity here where we've got cars that are kind of stretched out. Why don't you pick one of those top 4? Let's get on board with them, and let's ride around for a lap, and let's just see what this is looking like. Especially, I'm really curious to see how much they're having to do the tango with the steering wheel just to get between 1 and 2.
Yeah. Brian's car.
Nice line, picks that point. Right there about the start of the Texas sign. And notice how O'Brien did exactly what you said. He put those left side tires below the white line, the entry into 1, to get that car to actually turn. And now let's see, he's got Thrasher directly in front of him. So he run a lane up. Thrasher gave him the lane so he could get back up. Now watch that. So he's got both left side tires down below that white line. Then he lets the car go ahead and drift out. He kind of gives it its head, doesn't try to pinch the car off coming down off of 2.
Very late apex and 4.
Yeah, so you suppose he's just kind of taking advantage of being able to run off of that big banking down there on 3 and 4 to get him better lined up to get the tri-oval.
Yeah, but as soon as the lost cat, you got Carlin now by himself.
Yeah, we got guys that are kind of stretched out, so everybody's got space now.
Cat's got a bit of damage on his car.
Oh, he turned down to get below Thrasher, and the car, it got down on the apron. No traction down there on that section of concrete.
Right. He's got damage on that one, so back up front.
Well out here running away with it. O'Brien in second, Carlin, Cat Guy, Jiggly, Jello.
There's another one. So
Daz, Thrasher, CMC, Harry, Old Smoky, and Green Gaming.
That was
I think that was
gone.
And
Becky's blind and injured.
and I think Thrasher we saw just go off the wall there. Is Carlin Hicks missing his hood?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
He's come up on somebody and didn't realise they were there.
Wow.
Wow.
Now how much are you going to hate trying to drive a car that has even less downforce on the front?
He must be running alright because he didn't go into the pits.
And true to Carlin form, he's only second half off of the leader's pace with no hood. I'd be in the pits crying for a new hood right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, if he went in now, it's going to be the less hurt. His car and get the fuel in and get a new set of tyres, even though it's going to probably sting a bit, but the longer he runs out there, and more hurt as he goes into the pit stop. It's still going to take a while to fuel, put tyres, and then fix the hood. Yeah. You see in the pits.
Well, one thing for sure right now, if you're still in the race with 35 minutes left and you can keep your car at least most of the pieces together, you can feel pretty good knowing that you're going to get a top 10 finish here.
I reckon that's what the problem is there. One issue is the catch rate on the fast guys compared to the slow. It's just you come up on them so quick, and then you've got seconds to decide left or right, and if they move the wrong way, like Lecky in the Indy cars, you just bump them by mistake. You know, it's not even nothing you can do about it. It's too late by the time you move, slightly left, and they bobble to the left where you went. It's
Yeah, the closing rate, the difference between the fast guys and the guys that you're trying to get around. I run with RS Dash, and I really like it because it gives me that nice bright blue bar across the top of my iPad, and that's a good visual indication to pay attention and look in my mirrors, because that means somebody definitely faster is coming. Much like when Lecky 2000 passed me last night for position, that blue bar came on And when I saw who it was, it's like, yeah, this guy's fast. I'm going to give him the lane. I think we should probably pick somebody else. Let's pick somebody about mid-pack, and let's climb on board with them. Let's have an opportunity to see. We saw what O'Brien's line is and how he's managing to get through 1 and 2 so successfully. I wonder if we've got somebody else here that may be using this. Buddy Daz. So he uses. Oh, there's Cat Guy coming around him. Oh, I can't. Oh!
That's a big crash.
So is that Cat Guy and Daz getting together?
Yeah, yeah.
So now I owe Daz an apology too that we were on board with him when he got run over or got run into, whatever the case may be. Well, a lot of misfortune going on right now. Cat Guy, Carlin.
Looks like Cat will be going into the pits with that.
Yeah. Yep. And there's still 32 minutes remaining. I think now's an opportunity to, if you're going to get in the pits, take your hands off the wheel, lean your head back, close your eyes for just a moment, take some deep breaths, No, would that be like, that kind of outside intervention? I guess that would be divine intervention, not any other form of
intervention would be.
not necessarily cheating in this case. Yeah, no. Get a drink, get a coffee, get a water, and as they would say on TV,
Guy's definitely have enough time to rest his arm for a bit.
Pull those belts down tight and let's get back out there and let's finish this race.
But that also where Daz and Cat Guy got close to each other coming out of 4 is not a nice spot. One's like on the high line and one's on the low line, and then the guy from the high line sort of squeezes a bit, then it comes close of hitting the pit lane, going to the pit lane or going across the grass, and I think that's what happened to Cat Guy. He hit the grass and he had nowhere to go but straight into Daz there. So.
And from what I saw, I thought it looked as though, they're 30 laps in now. I thought Cat Guy might actually be going in for a pit stop, because that's what it looked like out of the left side. It looks like Cat Guy went to the left. I thought he was making a pit stop, and the next thing you know, it's the sound of breaking glass and broken hearts.
And from this side of the fence, Cat had no intention of doing that to Daz. Just the way the aero washed, got to the car and being at that spot on the track where you hit the grass and you got no aero, or even that cement there on the corner, just nothing there, no grip.
Yeah, when you look at that shot coming off of 4, you can see that you got a downhill coming off of 4. There's a small short stretch, and then you've got another banking as you hit the first part of the quad oval. So the suspension comes from being loaded, riding up on the highest portion of the banking. It gets to the flat, the car unloads on the suspension, and then it goes to compress it again, and the quad oval on these tracks, these poor cars go through so much suspension movement. Maybe they could use some of this Elbashreen suspension that Dale the Whale's using right now, because that seems to be the hot ticket, at least 30 laps in.
He's down to... He had a bit more of a gap on O'Brien in 4. Had a wiggle somewhere.
Well, and when I look at the difference between the line that Dale's using into 1 and 2, and we know what O'Brien's using in 1 and 2, O'Brien's I won't say he's taking a shortcut, but he is making the track a little smaller. And even though his lap times...
Tighter. Yeah, this is Dale. He's a bit tighter before going on the end, and he's put it over.
See Cat Guy back out on the track?
Yeah, but he's going back in, it looks like.
Still going around Jiggly Jello on the back stretch.
Yeah. Back out about 5. Doesn't take the real inside line, does he? It does go right to that.
Yeah.
Man, sort of a little bit further up.
But then too, a little higher line would certainly would help to keep your momentum up. And if you keep the car off the wall.
Yeah. And taking a bigger arc could also save the tyres a bit, you know what I mean?
Yes,
he's
sir.
not bringing it right down. Almost straight.
Good point. Yeah, maybe we should go get back here on the trackside cam and get on somebody else. It seems like every time we highlight somebody, we give them the broadcaster's curse. There's Carlin still out there. No hood.
Still running out of the hood.
Weight reduction.
Start peeling the doors off it and make it faster.
Yeah, as the old saying goes, we couldn't fix your brakes, so we made your horn louder. Well, we're close to the halfway point, and then there were 10.
It's 10. That's pretty quick. Alan got off the throttle there a bit, just to make sure he had a car still underneath before he put it back on.
Yeah, running a
the one
very
person
conservative line.
Sort of surprised me out of this, which I didn't sort of put a finger on saying that he might do a good job, is Jiggly. Jiggly he's running pretty well.
I think that what we see is there are certain disciplines that some people they kind of have that natural, it kind of comes to them. And I've run against Jiggly. He's the kind of driver that you want to be around, because he's not going to be making any extreme moves. Looks like he's maintaining a very clean line. Of course, when you're running by yourself and you've got the whole track, you have that opportunity to do that. Kind of surprised that I know Harry's had some troubles already. There he is in 5th. Actually had a really good showing at Watkins Glen. Green Gaming, Daz, TC Thrasher, Cat Guy, CMC F1 back here, and there's Daz just getting around Thrasher.
Yeah.
Speaking of Harry, here he comes up on Thrasher also.
Yeah. Thrasher's got a bit of a loose car where cars take the aero off and it's not very nice.
Yep. 10-second gap.
And Collins in the pits. How many laps he loses?
Or again, does he now?
Hello. Somebody stepped now in front of him.
That was Harry.
Yeah. Probably lost the arrow off the back of it. Went, what the hell's going on here? Didn't realise there's a big green car behind him.
Harry in the number 15 Frantic Burgers having a frantic moment himself.
Yeah, he's coming up on Thrasher. He's going for the inside line. Hopefully Thrasher realises he's there. He does. Gives him plenty of space.
Now let's see if Thrasher, very nice. He either got off the throttle in time, gave it enough brake or enough wheel, and kept it off the wall. Dale was able to get around him. So nice car control in 1 and 2 for Thrasher.
Oh, that's a bit
Dale
lag,
Well
big jump.
got a bunny hop there. I hope that doesn't mean that that he's having potential engine or transmission problems.
Yeah, and Jiggly Jello's up to third because of Carl pitting, so. Oh, well, same.
Drivers are being very respectful. Everybody has settled in at this point. We're getting close to 50 laps, or Dale the Whale's getting close to 50 laps. And by this point, combination of the track temperature, of the rubber that's on the track, and I just saw, I think that was Cat Guy's either hood or trunk lid that I just saw.
Yeah.
So he felt he wanted to be like his buddy Carlin. He figured, I'm just going to go down in here, come off the 2. And I got to kind of wonder at this point, now seeing the challenges that Cat Guy's had, if, you know, he's still the one-arm bandit. This track, even with your 4-speed back turned down.
Yeah, and also.
O'Brien's still running a very clean line, even if he is a little back from Dale the Whale. So it looks like as though that Harry and Carlin back here in 4th and 5th, that looks like that might be the, well, it was for a moment, and then the next thing now, Harry's up there rubbing off between 1 and 2.
See if O'Brien and Jiggly get him.
And is this the one pit stop? You know, we're now 50 laps in, 20 minutes left. We guess that we're probably talking 90, 92, 93 laps maybe. And did O'Brien not do tires? Is he going to do fuel only?
Well, didn't they used to do that in the SCL days? Not do tyres.
Yep.
But
well, this is a long stop, so it's so he's got the fuel, fixing the damage. Carlin's out there with got a hood back on. So now he gets some more of that good aero on the front portion of his car. Cat Guy's still in the pits. So this is likely going to wind up being his 3rd pit stop. So just as a reminder, what you're seeing here, this is a lot of fun action, and you too can actually be part of the action. Come join us, FluxMotorsport.com. Sign up on the Discord. Get your evaluation drive. Pick a championship series. And you too can be featured on Flux TV, whether your car looks like it's ready for the wrecker, or if it's pristine and green and out front and setting those fast laps. Participate in community races, get setup, support, donate if you have the opportunity, browse the marketplace for Flux swag because winning is pointless if you don't look good while you're doing it. Discounts and offers available from Fanatec, ACELIT through our affiliate links. Join us here at Flux Motorsport, the home of clean sim racing and eMotorsports.
Well, Carlin and Harry's got Jiggly in the pit. Brian slain with death there.
And we don't know for sure if he put tires on or not. If he didn't put tires on, and we don't know how much those tires would have cooled down.
Yeah, but if you didn't put tyres on, wouldn't you think you'd be a bit closer to Dale?
I would hope so, but we don't know. I mean, don't know how much damage he had either. Yeah.
No, Dale didn't have any, or hadn't been unlucky.
So Brian getting a little draft off of
Thrasher.
Off of Green Gaming. Yeah, the 47 and the 50. Those two cars look. See Cat Guy's back out there, looking a little worse for wear. Like he had a little contact coming off, and that car is just wicked loose right now. And then here we are off the outlet of 2.
Who was that? Somebody just left. Down to 9.
And then there were 9. Well, I hope with 17 minutes left that the 9 drivers that remain are going to be able to make it to the end. Jiggly.
He's been in the pits an awful long time. His dad's just got past him.
There's Cat Guy again.
Unless he's gone in the pits second time. He didn't get what he wanted.
Here's Jiggly coming out. Car's looking like it's brand new. Great job to his pit crew. Dale the Whale O'Brien, Carlin Hicks, Harry, Daz, Green Gaming, Jiggly Jello, Thrasher, and Cat Guy. That's your top 9. So we look on the track. Looks as though now with only 9 drivers left, they've all got plenty of room. So now it's about maintaining here. You got 15 minutes left. By this point, you should have made your last pit stop. You got enough gas, you got enough tires. You know what you need to do to keep the car out of the wall. Now it's time to put it to good use.
Jiggly can keep it out of the wall when Dale come past, he went straight into it. Well, he's riding it, so.
Yeah. And you know what he did? He did the right thing there. The tendency a lot of times, especially in 1 and 2 when you get stuck on the wall, is that people want to take and they want to just give that steering wheel a big yank, try to get the car off of that wall. and all that does is it if it does hook and it comes off the wall, you're going to wind up hooking and going right into somebody who's probably doing 100 miles an hour faster than you are.
Even better if you put you do get it off and you put your foot into it, you go right to the bottom and it'll drive straight into it. Oh.
Yes. Yeah, these cars are pretty notorious for being loose, and then all of a sudden it finds a bunch of traction that you didn't have. Mm-hmm. And wherever you got that steering wheel pointed, I guess cars sometimes are a lot like computers. You know, because computers are dumb. They only do what we tell them to do. And I think these cars might be kind of dumb. Because if we put a lot of wheel into them, or if we let them ride up against the wall, they're going to do exactly what we tell them to do. So there's Harry helping to keep their, well, when they go to do the maintenance on the track after the race, they shouldn't have to worry about having too much of the rubber up there, because all these cars coming through there with their hot tires is likely picking up all those marbles. So much, in fact, here's Harry. Oh, I thought he was going into the pits.
Yeah, I did too.
Maybe he wanted to go into the pits.
Yeah, wanted, and he didn't.
So we got Green Gaming,
Definitely
Cat Guy in the pits. I hope those two guys manage to stay away from each other. So let's talk about what's coming up next for the stock cars.
Yeah, where are we going?
If I remember correctly, I believe that we are going to Indianapolis. Yes.
Ooh.
And then after Indianapolis,
This track was hard.
after Indianapolis, it's back to Daytona for a night race.
Uh-huh.
And then coming up on March 14th, Watkins Glen. Initially was not one of my favorite tracks, but I tell you what, I've really come to enjoy going to that track. We certainly know the GTEs, the Indy cars, and the stock cars will all be there. It'd be one of those tracks where all will go to. Then after Watkins Glen, we go back to Indianapolis, and we finish our season off in the stock cars here at Texas, and it's going to be a night race. Now, as we get towards the end of March and we get to this night race, I would expect to have a very cool track. And when you have a very cool track, that means that the engines are going to like that cool weather. We're going to make even more horsepower. The cars are going to want to go even faster, and we'll likely have even less grip than what we do now here. Muttley, when it comes to, especially with these cars, is there something, I mean, what's the magic bullet to make this car handle better without giving up a bunch of time in the process?
I think the magic bullet, I wouldn't call it such a bullet, but more the drivability of the car. So get out there, drive these things for the 45 minutes and see what your car's like for these races, where you sort of commit doing a race, because you don't know how the different changes through the race these cars act until you drive them in a race situation. So definitely practice is a key on that one. Oops, somebody's around facing the wrong way.
we got somebody up in the barrier between 1 and 2, backwards on the track.
Thrasher. Green Gaming.
Green Gaming. Holding the car up against the wall, waiting for an opportunity.
Always do is get it down. Yeah, you got it down. That's right.
Good job. He resisted the urge to immediately try to get the car turned around and put others in danger.
I was going to say, yeah, blink your lights, but these things don't have lights, they just have stickers.
Wave your hands in the air. Look at me.
I know, I've been up there in the car with lights and I'm sitting there flashing going, I hope these cars don't hit me, it's not fun.
Yeah.
Here in Texas. Yeah, Texas and Daytona, I should say. But yeah, it's like, yeah.
O'Brien's still using that line, those 2 tires down below the white line there.
Well, I mean, when I was running the tune I gave you before, I found out that the car would, if you're going to slide out, you had plenty of time to see where your car's heading, doing that. You know what I mean? If it's heading towards the wall, you take your finger off the throttle a little bit, or maybe add a bit more steering to your wheel just to get it to drift around that corner. but really depends on what he did with the tyres or no tyres situation. But I mean, Dale's definitely showing a class above the rest at the moment.
And he's one of those drivers that traditionally, you know, I see him on.
Cat's pulled the pin. He's in the pit lane, but he's not racing.
On PlayStation, doing a lot of practice. I certainly remember in the SCL days, you know, trying to just the basics. Where am I going to turn the car in at? Especially turn one. Can I get that car turned in each and every time? Am I going to delay? Am I going to give it a lazy throttle? Am I going to just give it a quick burp to get the car to try to turn initially? Because what it sounds like to me is that O'Brien is modulating the throttle. He's kind of giving it a courtesy lift whenever he goes into one here, just to get the car to turn down. Yep, see just a slight, just off that throttle, probably about 75% throttle. Back on it, coming out high, arc the car in, and I'm seeing him using this line and watching him come high into 3, down onto 4. But this was the piece, to me, this is where you can be successful at Texas, is being able to get through these first 2 corners. And in 2, as the car starts to go away, remembering that it's not going to stick the same every lap.
No, and you know, you get it pointed in nice as you're heading towards 1 and get close to getting to the cement or the apron there, and then just let it slowly drift out. Then you're probably saving a bit on the tyre where you take your foot off the throttle a little bit more to get the nose to come around, instead of yanking on the wheel to get it to turn in.
I'm kind of wondering now too, with seeing the way the standings are, especially now that we've got see, Cat Guy's out, O'Brien's in 2nd, Jiggly's in 4th, Carlin in 3rd, Gaming, Perry, Posty. Well, Dale the Whale is 9th in points right now.
Well, he jumps off a whole lot.
Yeah, if he can hang on, he's just under 6 minutes left. And if he can hold it together, there's no reason why he shouldn't, unless, I'm not going to say it, because if I say something and something bad happens to him.
Accommodator's curse.
Yeah. And then maybe that.
He'll be reaching through that microphone, stringing you up.
Maybe that's how you get fired from a volunteer gig, by doing something like that.
Yeah. But I must admit, even for us, not being in the early SLL days when you guys were on Gran Turismo with damage and stuff.
So that was Thrasher and
was it Daz? I reckon it was.
Yes. Here they are. Oh no!
Bang.
Oh no!
He got a big one.
Oh my goodness!
O'Brien missed it. Thank Christ for that.
Hope Harry's on the comms right now, letting everybody know where he's at. He did get the car out of the way.
Yeah.
That car suffered some massive damage.
Mm-hmm. O'Brien picked the right side of the track to go to. So with 4 minutes to go, I think Harry might be in there for the whole 4 minutes fixing that thing. Sorry,
Well,
Harry.
he picked a spot. You know, O'Brien picked a spot, shot for the gap, and thankfully the gap was there. So good on both of them. O'Brien picked the right spot. Perry stayed where he was, kind of let everybody drive around him.
Well, it's my pet hate is people like rolling down from the top to the bottom, or vice versa. You know, putting a bit of throttle into it and then moving up right at the wrong moment. Because if you're picking the gap and you don't have much of a gap to pick from at that speed, you don't want the car moving until you've gone past it.
Yes. Yes. And that was a lot of the IndyCar incidents that happened last night, where it was that very same scenario. You'd have cars that were spinning off of two, they'd be down against the wall, and when they come back out, you know, in kind of that moment when you're trying to hurry up and not lose positions and step on the throttle, the car comes straight back out into the track, and you have some individuals that can't get out of the way fast enough.
And those cars are even faster, which is, well, worse of picking a gap. It's like threading a needle.
Yes. Yes, because you know, things happen pretty fast in these cars to begin with, and you add another 30, 40 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour to it, and you're trying to thread that needle. And if you got a giant rock that you're trying to push through the middle of the needle, sometimes it doesn't fit. Well, should we run through the field here with our? We got about a minute left. We'll just do a quick pass, and then we'll get back on Dale and give
Dale
him.
the Whale's out in front with a minute to go.
Oh, and we just lost another driver. We're down to 6.
Looks like
Brian. Carlin.
Dad's. Yeah, Carlin.
Carlin going to salvage a podium finish.
Well, it's pretty good after considering he didn't have a hood for half the.
Right. Jiggly. Jello.
Good assistance.
Yes.
He's really, you know what? He gets more drive because he's stuck to it, and the positions that come to him because he's been out there, and even in a way, Green Gaming has done the same, but it's been a bit more hectic. And
they've stuck with it, right? They've stuck with it. They're going to finish. Even Harry. Hurry up, Harry. 45 seconds.
Yeah, I don't think Harry gets out there before it finishes. I'm sorry.
Meanwhile, Dale the Whale coming down the backstretch here. Been to class of the field. Sat on the pole.
Car. I mean, just not a mark.
Likely going to have the fastest lap, if I had to guess. So this will wind up being a maximum point day.
I didn't see O'Brien down on a 28 there. There's 28.6. So if he doesn't have it, he might have it pretty close to it on that one.
Here we are, likely on the final lap, off of 2. Straight and clean down the backstretch. Into 3 off of 4. Front stretch. And your winner,
wins it.
Dale the Whale.
Coming in second. Going through, what's that? 3 and 4, was it? Yeah, coming on the front stretch.
Yep, going through the trioval.
O'Brien. Yeah.
And here comes.
Looks like Carlin may be already finished.
So here we go. Dale the Whale brings it home. O'Brien in second. Carlin Hicks in third. Jiggly Jello, Green Gaming, Harry 98,
Yep.
Daz, Cat Guy,
Yep. Cat Guy.
CMC,
And
Old
Smoky.
Smoky,
Is that the
buddy,
10?
and in 11th, Lecky.
Who's 11th?
Lecky 2000 is 11th.
Oh, okay. I don't. Yeah, it won't scroll down that far on the thing. I don't know why that does that. I've got the photo though.
Muttley,
Yeah.
I can't think of a better way to spend a Sunday evening than sitting in the stands and watching these guys grind out this race in the stock cars. You've got to be
Yeah, well,
tough
they
to
sort of
get
said,
behind
"Oh,
the
why don't
wheel
you
in
jump
these
in the
cars.
car?" And I was going, "Oh, maybe I should," and I'm glad I didn't.
And you notice too that when it came opportunity to decide what series to not race in, I chose to not race in the stock cars and chose
So
to
did
just
I,
kind of
because
muddle along in
it's
the
not.
Indy cars. I wonder how that actually worked out.
Yeah, no, we had brains because we knew what these things were like at Indy. Just don't drive, and every corner's different. You'll find out.
Yes, that's coming next week. I can hardly wait.
Yeah,
I just want to take an opportunity to thank everybody for sticking with us.
Get on Flux Motorsports.
Exactly.
Get on it.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Join us. Get your evaluation drive. Pick a championship. 7 different championships. 3 of them here in the inaugural season in the Americas. You get an opportunity to be featured on Flux TV. And when you get on the Discord, don't forget we've actually got associate sponsorships with affiliate links, Fanatec, ACES.
Affiliate, yeah.
Swag, got to get your swag. T-shirts, hoodies, stickers, phone cases.
Yeah.
All of those to help what we get to do here. Once again, this is One Shoe. Muttley, any final thoughts?
Evening, yeah, good racing. Attrition was the counterbalance for all the fast fellas, except for Dale the Whale. He kept his car clean. That's all I can say.
And
as easy as that.
And it was a maximum point day for him. As I looked through the best lap, he had a 28.501.
Yeah.
So Dale the Whale, he's likely going to be moving up in the points. Yes. Yep. Until next week.
Evening.
Thanks, sports fans, and we'll see you soon.